All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is Rebels in Mali are shouting, Chinese, get out. Let's see where this video takes us.
The West African country of Mali was once hailed by the Chinese government as the gold mine of West Africa. But there, the situation for
Still
Chinese
is.
people has become a nightmare. Recently, the security situation in Mali has drastically worsened, with armed groups linked to al-Qaeda, such as the Support Group for Islam and Muslims, JNIM, repeatedly attacking Chinese-owned mining areas and factories. These groups engage in looting and have started targeting Chinese nationals for kidnappings and extortions. They even openly shout, "Chinese people, get out of Mali." Chinese-owned gold mines, cement plants, mining sites, and sugar factories have been attacked multiple times. Dozens of Chinese citizens have been kidnapped, and several have lost their lives. Equipment has been looted or destroyed.
Jeez. Yeah, guys, the CCP is in fact not going to pay for any type of hostages here, guys. Just so you know, that's not going to be a thing that actually exists.
And several have lost their lives. Equipment has been looted or destroyed. On August 1st, JNIM militants attacked a Mali army outpost near Dugabugu, claiming to have taken control, and also destroyed the local police station. They simultaneously attacked the Insukala sugar factory, kidnapping 6 Chinese workers. The attackers yelled, "Catch the Chinese," and then set fire to the factory. JNIM later claimed responsibility for the attack and released photos of the hostages, demanding a ransom of 100 million RMB. They threatened to kill the hostages if the ransom
Let's go ahead and translate that.
was not paid. The group has explicitly targeted military outposts and nearby economic infrastructure. The Insukala sugar factory is one of the few industrial projects in China-Mali.
All right, so that is $13.9 million. Yeah, bro, I'm sorry, guys. The CCP is not going to even give you $1, bro.
Operation, and is Chinese invested. Late on August 2nd, the Chinese embassy in Mali issued one of the sternest evacuation orders in recent years, stating, "All Chinese enterprises must cease operations immediately and evacuate to the capital, Bamako. Those who refuse will face consequences." Earlier, on July 23rd, JNIM militants attacked a Chinese-owned gold mining operation in the Buguni region, setting fire to equipment and kidnapping 5 Chinese workers. The attackers seemed to know the layout of the mine very well, acting swiftly and leaving without a trace. An anonymous security supervisor shared on X that Mali's security department was completely unprepared. "We relied entirely on the local Chinese community and international security companies' networks for information." Mr. Xu, who works at a mining company in the area, told the Beijing News that the militants attacked around 3 or 4 in the morning, while most workers were asleep and had no chance to fight back. 2 of his colleagues were kidnapped and are still missing. The kidnappers have demanded a ransom of $3 million per person, and Mr. Xu expressed his helplessness, saying, "Who can come up with that much money?" On August 4th, the Chinese embassy in Mali confirmed that it had a record of all the kidnapped Chinese citizens, but did not provide any details on...
Bro, you don't have a record. Listen, here's the thing. Mali, just like Angola, are basically kind of in the same scenario. They basically sold out their country to the highest bidder, let's just say this year. Oil-backed loans consistently, but Mali specifically was more like a gold-backed loan. But there's only so much of that you're going to be able to basically, produce, let's say. It just seems like the overall sentiment in Africa as of right now, within all the countries at least, is get the Chinese specifically out of the nation. And why, you may ask? The people are not actually getting any benefit or seeing any benefit from the money that's actually being flooded, let's say, into the nation itself. Just the higher ups, right? They're becoming absolutely insanely rich. Okay, like a group of 5 people, let's say, in every country. Let's just say that. That's what's going on here, guys.
Rescue operations.
And the people are
earlier on July
not having it anymore.
JNIM militants launched an attack on a military camp in the eastern town of Futori, Burkina Faso, quickly overpowering the camp and stealing weapons, ammunition, and military equipment. On July 1st, a Chinese-Malian joint venture cement factory in the Kais region of Mali was attacked by JNIM militants. 1 Chinese citizen and 3 Indian engineers were kidnapped. The construction site was set on fire, and machinery was destroyed. India media reported that the daughter of an Indian engineer who was kidnapped tearfully said, "My father had worked in the Middle East and Africa for many years. This was his first assignment in West Africa. But after his last phone call on July 29th, we've lost contact with him." Meanwhile, the Chinese embassy has done nothing but issue a hollow statement without any substantial rescue plans. The hostages are still missing. On June 12th, a Chinese-owned mining site in the Niarela region of Mali was attacked, causing significant material losses. On May 24th, another Chinese construction site in the Kayes region was attacked by armed militants.
Jeez,
In
look at
Nyarela,
that.
militants kidnapped 2 Chinese citizens on May 12 and set fire to several construction vehicles. The Chinese embassy had issued a warning on July 23rd, stating that the security situation in Mali was dire, with terrorist attacks and armed conflict spreading. Kidnappings, shootings, and robberies have become frequent, and mining personnel and enterprises have become prime targets. The embassy urged all Chinese gold mining companies and personnel in Mali to report their status immediately, and called on illegal gold miners to cease operations and evacuate. The Chinese embassy in Mali issued a stern emergency evacuation order, instructing all Chinese enterprises to halt their operations and evacuate their personnel to the capital, Bamako, by September 30th. This sudden move has shattered the dreams of Chinese businesses, which invested $1.2 billion in Mali, with nearly 100 companies and the annual gold output of 36 tons now at risk. After receiving the evacuation order, many Chinese mining companies took drastic measures to destroy the equipment and to prevent it from falling into the hands of rebel groups.
Have you ever seen a company destroy its own equipment? Chinese gold mining companies in Mali did just that. They carried out a self-destruction operation worth thousands of millions. Earlier, the northern mining area of Mali was robbed by armed groups, causing significant losses.
Well, listen, I understand why they did that, right? I mean, obviously, listen, hey, listen, I put all this money into this country, and it is absolutely a war-torn, like massively impoverished country. I'm putting all this equipment. The last thing I really want to do, truthfully, right, is allow anything to actually fall into the hands of like the big bad guys, the rebels specifically, right? I just do not want that to happen, because then I look terrible in 10 years when I'm being blamed for basically arming the rebels. So you get what I'm saying here? Like, I fully understand why the Chinese specifically did that, at least.
These militants even had the audacity to turn Chinese excavators into armed vehicles and used server data to plan attacks. After receiving an emergency notification from the Chinese embassy in Mali, Chinese companies acted overnight. 20 excavators were sunk into the river, hard drives were destroyed, chips were ruined, and photos of the mining sites on employees' phones were deleted. The estimated loss from this self-destruction operation exceeded 100 million yuan, but the Chinese company bosses believe it was worth it, because in Mali, safety is the most important thing. If the equipment and data had fallen into the hands of armed groups, the consequences would have been unimaginable.
The evacuation process has been full of risks,
super rich,
with land routes passing through 400 kilometers of territories controlled by terrorist groups. The airports can only evacuate 500 people daily, far from enough to meet the demand. As of now, only 122 Chinese nationals have made it to the capital. Ironically, in 2024, China has sent 36 anti-ambush armored vehicles to the Malian military. Officers were seen proudly accepting these vehicles on camera. However, due to a lack of fuel and maintenance training, nearly 60% of these vehicles are now scrap metal.
That's wild.
Before China's weapons had even been put to use, the terrorists had already retaliated, demanding that Chinese nationals leave Mali.
你来非洲是为了赚钱，但有人是为了反你来赚钱。
The kidnappings in Mali have caused panic among Chinese citizens working and investing there. One local blogger posted a video warning other business owners, telling them to be aware that they might become a source of income for others. The video described how on August 3rd, 2025, an extremist group released photos of 6 Chinese hostages who were abducted in the region of
was 9 days ago.
Just 2 days before, another 4 Chinese workers had been kidnapped by the same group. Mali has seen a rise in kidnappings and attacks, with 342 incidents recorded in the first 7 months of the year, a 27% increase from the previous year. The blogger warned that a country's downfall doesn't come from poverty, but from the collapse of order.
Chinese business owners in Africa have also called for their government to ensure the safety of China.
I would say it's a mix of both here, bro. I mean, listen, the people in many countries in Africa right now that have been that the Chinese government has invested in specifically, right? They are sick and tired of this nonsense now, bro. Okay, they see that guy over there, right, getting billions of dollars, hundreds and millions of dollars on a yearly basis, okay? And while not utilizing any of that money to actually benefit the people that are surrounding him, right? So that's what's happening here. And the people are having a massive uprising all around Africa right now because of all of the corruption that basically exists in Africa.
Chinese enterprises in the region.
还是撤了哈，这个不撤就等死。
We have to evacuate, or we'll be waiting to die. The situation in Mali is out of control, and Chinese companies have been specifically told to leave immediately. On August 2nd, the Chinese embassy in Mali issued an emergency notice, and this was no ordinary evacuation suggestion. It was a direct order. All Chinese companies must stop work immediately, and all personnel must evacuate right away. Not a single person can stay.
Since the 2012 coup, the security situation in Mali has steadily deteriorated, especially after French troops withdrew. Terrorist groups have expanded their influence, and now Chinese enterprises and their employees are primary targets.
Jeez, what
The
is the
social
point
media
of this,
posts
guys?
even openly demand that Chinese people get out of Mali. Why are terrorists targeting Chinese companies in Mali? Simply
Why are you
put, it's all
destroying
about the
your
money.
country?
An anonymous project manager shared that recently there have been people on motorcycles constantly circling around construction sites. Local workers privately told him these individuals were scouting for targets, looking to steal equipment and kidnap people for ransom. After receiving the evacuation notice from the Chinese embassy, Chinese companies sprang into action. Some destroyed important documents. Others removed the chips from expensive equipments to take with them. Some even
Mandatory.
went as far as sinking excavators worth millions of dollars into rivers, preferring to destroy them rather than leave them for terrorists to convert into armored vehicles. Now, most of the personnel have been evacuated through neighboring countries, but the process has been harrowing. Some online commentators sarcastically remarked, "No flag raised, no passport shown," calling for the wolf warrior Wu Jing to come rescue our people.
这次事件暴露出了一个大的问题。
This incident has exposed a major issue. How can Chinese companies protect themselves abroad? Western countries often send mercenaries, while China mainly relies on local police and security. But against fully armed terrorists, this clearly isn't enough.
Yeah, and guys, hold on. We're going to end it here. Here's the thing. And these local security guards are generally in on the take, if that makes any sense here, right? So, like, we're starting to hear stories specifically coming out of Angola right now, where there are people that are legitimately going missing and being robbed, like, by the people who they are hiring for security, right? Like, generally, you want to bring in people that are not from the area specifically. It's always good to have, like, one or two people, specifically local. But if you're trying to kind of secure your interests in a foreign nation, wouldn't it be intelligent to bring people that, you know, that are from your nation, at least, that have the ability to, and knowledge, let's say, to protect themselves from this type of absolute crazy? I would think that would be the first thing you did, but you didn't do it, right? Because again, China just wants the money, right? They just want the money. They want the benefits, the profits specifically from these African countries. They're not there for any other reason but that, guys. All right. So, and again, it's pretty obvious when the people on the entire continent are like, "Get out of here! You're ruining our country." Right? Like it's crazy. The same message is being said all around Africa. Like they're all having the same exact message. But that's wild. But all right, listen, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description if you do want to finish the video here, guys. All right. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.